sorry it happened.
The trial of former police officer Kim Potter is all over the news.
Potter was charged with manslaughter after she accidentally used her gun instead of her taser, resulting in the death of Dante Wright.
You may have seen the viral video of the incident.
The defense rested last week, meaning that tomorrow the jury will begin their deliberations.
Potter faces up to 15 years in prison if convicted of the most serious charge. What has a lot of people talking is the testimony offered by Dante's friends and family.
That testimony wasn't about the incident itself, but rather about Dante as a person. How close he was with his parents, how optimistic he was, what a good dad he was.
And that's pretty unusual. Usually a court only allows an evidence that is relevant to the specific crimes in question.
And how good of a person or not good of a person the victim was isn't relevant.
And in addition to not being relevant, this kind of testimony can be hugely damning for the defendant.
So why was this testimony allowed here?
The answer? Minnesota's unique spark of life doctrine.
This doctrine says that in murder or manslaughter cases, the prosecution can introduce evidence of the spark of life that the victim had.
This means that the victim's friends and family can testify by their own personal opinions of the deceased.
Even more controversial, the defense can't produce evidence to the contrary.
In this instance, Dante did have a violent criminal history that included a charge of armed robbery, other gun-related crimes, and alleged gang affiliation. Yet, none of that matters.
The spark of life doctrine isn't meant to show that a person has flaws, but rather that they were a real person that mattered.
This law is super unique and super controversial, so what do you think?
Should the jury hear both sides of the good and the bad of the victim, or is it only the spark of life that matters?
You had just killed